Welcome back to another episode of In the Slot. I'm your host, Jacob Fraser, with my co-host, Keanen Tregaskis. And the Olympics are back. It's exciting. It's been a lot of fun so far. We're one game through the tournament for each team, but we were excited going into this, and I feel like the first game didn't disappoint at all.
No, I assume you're talking about Canada, but
Well, just like any of the games in
yeah,
general.
no, any of
Like,
the games, they definitely did not disappoint. There was always, other than I think Switzerland and France, there was something to talk about from every game,
for sure.
especially Italy yesterday.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that one stands out quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's get right into it here. Let's talk about the games yesterday, and let's start off with the Sweden Italy matchup because it was looking like it could go either way for a little bit
Oh
there.
yeah, that
Obviously,
was a
Sweden.
yeah. You
Sorry,
look
go
at the
ahead.
shots; it's like 20-4 for Sweden, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, like
It's like,
obviously
oh
Sweden dominated the game,
yeah,
but it was 2-2 at one point, and I was thinking, okay, there
Italy scored
could be an
first too,
upset here.
which was wild.
Yeah, yeah,
Like they
that
were.
goal was terrible.
Gustafsson had a very bad first period.
Yeah.
Locked in afterwards, but he definitely held Sweden back for the first little while. Little Olympic nerves. I'm gonna write it down for that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, just Sweden or Italy's goaltending was unbelievable, and it's unfortunate that Clara couldn't finish the game. But I think he finished with 46 saves on the night,
yeah,
and
mid 40s.
yeah, 46 saves on 49 shots. Just an unbelievable Olympic debut for a young goaltender, especially.
Yeah, 100%. It was. This was the game. Everyone coming into the first matchup, the first match day. Everyone's like, okay, this is the domination that we're gonna see from Sweden. This is the game that's gonna be the blowout of the day, and it wasn't. Italy, like you said, Clara kept them right in it, had them in the lead for a little while, and it was all him. Like
Hmm
46 of 49. The team, I think Italy ended with like 22, maybe 23 total shots.
Yeah, 22 shots on goal.
22. Yeah, exactly. When you're saving more than double of what your team's shooting, that's how you know. That's how you know it's a Sweden versus Italy matchup.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I mean, one guy that I wanted to talk about is Elias Pettersson. Comes out of
Yeah,
the game with no points, but very easily could have had a hat trick.
he was very active on the ice. He was all over the place. A lot of chances. Something we haven't seen him do with the Canucks in, I think, since they were good 3 years ago. It's good to see that. It's good. It definitely helps that this was the first game of the tournament against a weak team. It helps his confidence. He can carry this into the more competitive games when they play Slovakia, who won. We'll get into that in a moment, and Finland, who's also a good hockey nation. And then whatever they do in the quarterfinals and beyond. I think this is the perfect team for them to start off against for a player like Elias Pettersson to find his confidence and just build off of that in this tournament.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like having a weaker opponent to start the tournament can hurt you a little bit, especially when it's a close game like it was for Sweden. Like I feel like
Mhm.
that can kind of knock your confidence a little bit. But at the same time, you're right. Like for guys who have been struggling in their with their NHL teams this year, like Elias Pettersson, they they get an opportunity to play that weaker opponent and build some of that confidence, like you were saying. So, I mean, the cats agree with me in the background there. Um,
I can't do anything about that. He's on the other side of my door.
clearly, he agrees.
Yeah, he's very vocal about that game there. But I don't entirely agree. I don't agree, but disagree with the confidence strike that this has against Sweden because you look at the shots for versus shots against, and I think that's enough for you to go, hey, this was just one of those games for the
Mhm.
goaltender, which we see all the time in these types of tournaments.
Yeah, I just think like it's nice to play a stronger opponent because it kind of wakes you up for the tournament. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
like
true. That's
I
also
think
true.
in that first period, the reason why we saw Sweden kind of not take over the game right away is because like it looked a little sloppy from Sweden, especially defensively. Like there was a lot of turnovers made. Victor Hedman made some bad plays in that first period, and to me, that's just guys taking their opponent lightly.
Yeah.
And so I think you can kind of fall into that trap when you're playing a weaker opponent in your first game of the tournament.
Yeah,
Um,
especially because it's been a week since everyone's played too.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
definitely. But let's get into the Slovakia Finland game because before the tournament, the night before it started, I posted our predictions
yeah, you just got to
on
rub this one in, hey.
yeah, I posted our predictions on our Instagram and Facebook pages, and it's looking good for me right now.
It
I had
is, yeah,
Slovakia over Finland. You had Finland over Slovakia. Slovakia edges out a 4-1 victory over the Finnish team. Finland 40 shots on goal to Slovakia's 25, but just couldn't find the back of the net. And I feel like that was the concern that I had going into the tournament for Finland was, are they going to be able to score? And it was a big issue
nope,
in that
yeah.
Slovakia game.
Yeah, I think it was another just amazing goalie game from Slovakia there, and then also Juraj Slavkovsky taking over when he was on
Mhm.
the ice. That was a huge game from him. 2 goals, and he was great when he wasn't putting the puck in the back of the net as well. Yeah, I think that's the big reason they were able to score.
Yeah, definitely. And he's got that Olympic experience too. I
He
think
does, yeah.
if I remember correctly, it's
I think he was
seven
like the
goals
leading
and
goal scorer
yeah.
last time.
Yeah, 7 goals in 7 games in the
Yeah,
2022 game. So, I mean, he's got that experience. He's over a goal per game in Olympic hockey. That's pretty crazy for a
yeah,
guy
9 and 8
who's
games.
yeah,
That's
for a guy
crazy.
who's 21 years old.
He's starting to break out in the NHL, and he's obviously amazing in the Olympics. One of those players you put the country logo on their chest and they just lock in.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like as far as Finland goes though, I am concerned because they don't have Alexander Barkov, obviously, who would be a massive help to that team,
Mhm.
offensively and defensively. But I'm primarily talking offensively here. I'm concerned when I look at their lineup. Like on the back end, they have Miro Heiskanen, but other than that, they don't really have many defensemen that can really provide any offense.
Mhm.
And then up front, you've got obviously Mikko Rantanen, Sebastian Aho, but in your bottom six, like it is a little bit more questionable. And
Yeah.
Eli Tolvanen was the goal scorer for Finland, who's listed on their fourth line right now. But I don't know, it's just a bunch of defensive minded guys up front and on the back end. It makes me worried for whether or not they can put the puck in the back of the net, especially when they come up against a hot goaltender like they did with Slovakia.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, 40 shots too is crazy to only get 1 goal out of that.
Mhm.
We see this all the time at the Olympics, at all these international tournaments. An unknown goalie putting the country's logo on his chest and they just lock in. Like, you saw it here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far to say, well, yeah, I guess it's an unknown goalie.
It's a lesser known goalie, but then Italy's is also an
Yeah,
unknown
and
goalie.
that was something I didn't realize either with the Italian team. I didn't realize that Clara was a Anaheim Ducks prospect.
Yeah, I saw that afterwards too.
Yeah, he was a second round pick a couple of years ago, and I
Is
mean,
he born in Italy?
yeah, yeah, born
Huh.
in Italy. But yeah, he's played 2 games in the AHL this year, and he's spent most of his time in the SHL, the Swedish league. But
Mhm.
I mean, his numbers in pro hockey aren't great. He's got an 888 save percentage in Sweden this year in 30 games played. But
Yeah.
yeah, he really turned it on for that game. But let's get into today's games because obviously the two most exciting matchups, most anticipated matchups were Canada, Czechia, and then USA, Latvia. Canada, let's start things off with them. Jordan Binnington gets the start, posts a shutout against Team Czechia. That was the biggest question mark surrounding this
Yeah.
Canadian team was their goaltending. Not like he had to make a ton of difficult saves, although he did make a few unbelievable stops. But I mean, how confident are you in Jordan Binnington after his debut for Canada at the Olympics?
Oh, it's definitely much higher than it was coming into the tournament. You pitch a shutout game one, the confidence is at an all time high, and then especially when the offense goes out and scores 5 goals, and the the star of your country, Connor McDavid, has more scoring chances than the entire other team. And Czechia is not a hockey nation to shy away from. This isn't
Hmm.
they're not playing Denmark or Italy or whatever. This is a good Czechian team that we talked about it a couple of times at the World Juniors. They have Canada's number, so it's very confidence boosting to see this team go out there and take control of the game against the team that was going to give them the biggest shot at number one in the pool. And then to also see guys like Macklin Celebrini scoring a goal too. The young guy who was like, oh, should it be him or should it be Bedard? Oh, Celebrini scored a goal. So there you go.
Yeah, and he's playing on the line with Connor McDavid and Tom Wilson. I'm really excited to see what that line can do for the rest of
Yeah.
the tournament. We talked about it a bit last episode, I believe, but I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch those three work together. And today, like you said, McDavid outchanced on his own Team Czechia, and he was unbelievable from the get go. I think it was first or second shift of the game. He lays a huge hit, and just from there, like he was on attack mode the whole game. It was
Yeah.
he ends up with 3 assists. He could have had probably another two or three more assists and a couple more goals on top of that as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, just an unbelievable debut from him.
Yeah, and just a great team effort by Canada to outshoot Czechia by I think it was like 10 to 15 total shots, which is really good considering, like I said, Czechia is a great hockey nation. And then to just shut them down and dominate in a 5-0 win, start the tournament off, win in dominating fashion against a team that's good in this pool, and you can coast against France, and we'll see what Switzerland does, but with the way they beat Czechia, I'm not worried at all about
No,
Switzerland.
no, definitely not. And let's talk about that power play a little bit here because I mean the first go around they had a couple chances, but they weren't really any grade A high danger chances. But that second power play with Crosby to McDavid across saucer pass across to Nathan McKinnon tap in like just we got a taste of that trio at the Four Nations when they
Yeah.
opened. I think they opened the tournament with that power play goal. Those three all in on that as well. But I this power play is going to be a lot of fun to watch for Team Canada, and it could be a huge difference maker when it comes down to a medal playing against team like Team USA or
Yeah.
Sweden, whoever.
Yeah, I think obviously they've got all the star power you can want. It's going to give you an amazing power play, and we saw it. We saw that amazing passing today, and yeah, we'll see it continue to develop as they play some more games together. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. Like I mean, we could go through everyone on the Canadian team today, I feel like everyone played really well. It's
Yeah,
unfortunate. We do need to mention this too. Josh Morrissey leaves the game.
yeah,
I think was it during the second period or after
I
the
think so because I think
first?
he only played like 7 minutes.
Yeah, he played he
I,
had 7 minutes of ice time, but
I'm gonna assume second period.
yeah, just I it sucks. Like he's probably Canada's number two defenseman. Like he's a big part of that team.
Yeah, he really is. And the other part that sucks is because they played a game already. They can't bring in an injury replacement.
Right.
So obviously, you wish the well for Josh Moore. Wish the best for Josh Morrissey. It's an awful situation. It really does just suck to get injured right as the tournament starts too.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't think I haven't seen anything. At least I don't know if you have, but I haven't seen any sort of update on
I think it
what's
was it was
going
just
on
the
there.
Friedman tweet where he's like, "No timeline right now, but we
Yeah,
wish him the best or whatever."
yeah, yeah. That's
So
unfortunate, and
yeah,
hopefully he can get back into the tournament at some point. But yeah, let's get into this USA game. There were a couple disallowed goals early on
yeah,
in the game. It was just a domination by Team USA.
it
Like,
was
and
100%.
it's expected over Latvia, but yeah, just I think they were even more dominant than I had expected, given that Latvia tends to play a physical style that could keep up with the Americans. I
They
felt.
shoot up a little bit in the international tournaments too.
Hmm. Definitely.
but yeah, this 5-1's a dominant scorecard in itself, but it's more dominant than the final score was.
Mhm.
Like you said, there's those two disallowed goals. There were some people making an argument against the JT Miller goalie interference, and then obviously the offside's the offside. But
Yeah.
they had so many chances. Latvia was not stopped. There wasn't going to be a goalie that was going to keep Latvia in this game. Honestly,
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think about the goaltending decision? Because they started Elvis Merzlikins to start the game, and then Artur Shilovs finished the third period. I I honestly feel like you give the net to Artur Shilovs in this one. Like he showed it at the World Championship. He helped them win that bronze medal a couple of years
I
ago,
think it
and
was over the USA too.
yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, obviously it wasn't USA full force. It was the
yeah.
World Championships. A lot of their players are still playing in the playoffs, but yeah, I felt like Latvia might have made the wrong decision there, giving the net to Elvis Merzlikins. Man, that's a tough name to say.
It's Latvia. The European name's a little tough for us Canadian boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little shocked that they did that too because, like you said, of Shilov's history in this turn in international tournaments. I think it was a little bit of a learning curve for this coaching staff. I think that well, who do they play next? Let's.
Latvia's next game,
Oh,
they
it's
take
Germany.
on Germany. Yeah.
That's the big one for seeding too, because you
Hmm.
assume this is going to be the second and third in this pool. I think it's Shilov's goal because, and that's on Saturday too. They get a day off, but I still think you go Shilov's, especially after the Merz Lincoln's performance today. And I don't think, like we just agreed, I don't think Merz Lincoln should have gotten the start to begin with. I'd go Shilov's.
Yeah, and I don't think he was necessarily bad in this game. Like it's Team USA against Team Latvia. He lets in, I think, four of the five goals Shilov's let in.
Yeah,
The one Austin Matthews goal and the third there. So I don't think he was bad, but I just yeah, I think that you got to go with the goalie who has proved it on the international stage, and I feel like Artur Shilovs has done that in the past more so than Merzlikins has. One player that I wanted to talk about on Team Latvia, though, is Albert Smits. He's the 18-year-old defenseman, draft eligible this year. Probably going to be a top 10, maybe even a top 5 pick in the draft. And I really liked what I saw out of him today. He looked really poised and just kind of didn't care that he was playing against some of the best players in the National Hockey League. Like
yeah,
he played with a lot of poise. He moved the puck well. He skated the puck well. He's on that top power play unit for Latvia, which is also just a big thing for to trust an 18-year-old to do on this stage, obviously. But yeah, I was really impressed with his game against Team USA today, and I'm excited to see what he can do for the rest of the tournament here. But do you want to talk about this German team a little bit?
we can touch on them. Yeah, it was a nice little win for them over Denmark, although Denmark outshot them a little bit.
Hmm.
But the
Yeah.
star power for Germany came through. Stützle got 2 goals. Draisaitl opened the scoring for Germany. This is kind of how Germany's going to win their games.
Hmm.
It's 3, 4 goals, and it's going to be the 4 or 5 players you'd expect from them with the NHL experience, the star power there. Yeah, this is a game I thought they would win. I thought it might have been a little more dominant than they were, but
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought so too. I was just I agree with what you said completely. Like I was going to say, if Germany wants to make some noise in this tournament, they're going to need to rely heavily on Stützle, on Draisaitl, on Mo Seider. Philip Grubauer is going to have to come up big in some games, but we didn't really talk about when we did our MVP and leading scorer predictions. We talked about the Canadian guys, but we
yeah,
didn't talk about the possibility of Leon Draisaitl or Tim Stützle being tournament MVP. Like,
yeah.
if Germany is going to win games, they're going to rely on those two, and offensively at least. And I could see a world where both of them come up with 10 plus points in this tournament, given that they could play 7 games.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I'm not gonna. I'm not going to disagree with you there. I think it's just going to come down to how many games they end up playing for one of them to
Hmm.
lead the tournament. Because I don't think they're going to take over that much, especially with what we saw against Denmark, who is probably the weakest team in this pool. They still got to play Latvia. I think they can take them down. And then obviously the USA, who is expected to beat everyone in their pool. Yeah, I think it's just going to come down to how many games Germany does play for one of those two, or one of any of the Germans to lead in scoring or be close.
Yeah, for sure. Um, let's just shift back over to Canada here. Let's talk about their matchup tomorrow. They take on Switzerland. I guess just what are kind of your predictions? Switzerland, we didn't really talk about them, but they take down France 4-0 today, 43 shots on goal. They've got some good players. Timo Meyer comes out with 2 goals tonight or
Yeah,
earlier today, but yeah, just kind of what's your expectation for Canada's matchup with Switzerland tomorrow?
I think they're going to control the game. It's hard to say otherwise with what they did to Czechia, but Switzerland's always a little underrated in the hockey world. They got some decent players. They're just a smaller country, and they don't have the superstars like even Germany does, who doesn't have a big NHL, a big pull in the NHL.
Mhm.
But they're a decent team. I mean, they showed it. They shut down France. They beat them 4-0. That's a good score right there for the team that's not expected to push Canada at all in this tournament. But I think it'll be a fun game. I think we'll just see Canada's power play do their thing if they get the chance. And I assume a Logan Thompson start. I don't think you're going to give Bennington back to back days.
I was gonna ask you about that because it comes off the shutout. I don't know. I don't know if Jordan Bennington loses the crease until he has a bad game, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's just well, I think the problem is I know John Cooper's got that in the back of his mind that Bennington's a little sporadic. His NHL
Hmm.
numbers aren't great. I do wonder if their plan is going to be give him a little more rest. We saw what he did after a week off. We beat the team we needed to beat. We got Logan Thompson, who's also a good goaltender. He can take on Switzerland, and then it's Bennington's until he loses it. I think that's my thought process here. Keep giving him that rest, keep letting him be fresh for the games he needs to be in the crease for, instead of overplaying him in the round robin.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I could see that just given the fact that it's a back to back. I wonder because you obviously don't see France as much of a threat. So maybe Switzerland, they're a little bit better.
That's
You
also
give your number
that's
one
also true.
goalie.
It's just the back to back that just
Yeah.
kind of throws this off a little bit. Like if they had the Friday off, I'd say yeah, give it to Bennington because Switzerland is more important than France is, and you can give Thompson France.
Mhm.
But it is just the back to back that makes me think let's just give him a little bit of rest again. He did just have a week off. You don't often do that in the NHL unless you are sitting on the bench watching your team play and you're still getting a little skate before and after the game, whatever. But yeah, I think it's just the back to back. Give him the rest. Don't force him out there 2 straight days. You already saw someone get injured. Don't risk anything.
Yeah. Given what you saw today, I'll ask you this before we start to wrap up. But given what
Yeah.
you saw today from Team Canada, what what is your expectation? Obviously, the expectation is a goals,
Yeah,
but
I don't think the expectation changes. You know what my thoughts were coming into the tournament.
do you like? I guess I'll ask you this: do you feel more or less confident in a Canada USA matchup today? Given what you saw from Canada and the US, do you feel more or less confident that Canada can come out with a win over the US?
I'm more confident because I think they had a more dominating game against a better team.
Hmm.
Like Latvia's got the odd NHL player here, but Czechia is in this tournament the fifth best nation, maybe fourth. They could beat Finland on paper, right? I think this is a very dominant performance against the team that's supposed to finish second in this pool. And I think that's more showing than America dominating Latvia. Not taking anything away from them, they played an amazing game. I just think there was more importance behind Canada's win than the US's.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I I am a little bit concerned because the way that the US was able to generate scoring chances against Team Latvia, it does make me a little bit concerned just because, especially after losing Josh Morrissey, assuming
Yeah.
that he's out for longer than a game or two, I worry about the Canadian back end a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah, I don't think the thing is Canada can just go right back and do that to America too, though. Like it could
Mhm.
be a little bit of a shootout in that sense. Because we know Canada, we know McDavid, McKinnon, all those guys can pass just as well as the Americans. They got shots just as good. They can shoot it as hard. They're as strong, as fast. It could be a shootout. It could be another 2-1 game like we saw in the Four Nations. I think it's going to be a close game, but I've got confidence in Canada, especially after today. They're riding, both teams are riding high, but I just think Canada's got more in them.
Yeah, fair enough. Is there anything else you wanted to get to before we wrap?
I don't think so, unless you want to touch on any of the other games tomorrow. We got Sweden, Finland.
Oh yeah,
That's
we can
That'll be a
talk
good
about
one.
that. Yeah,
3 a.m.
that'll
I'm
be
not
good.
waking up for that.
No, I will not be either. Um, although maybe my kid will wake me up for that one.
Your kid
Who
might be
knows?
like, "You should watch this."
Yeah. If he wakes up at 3 a.m., I know it's because he wants to watch the game.
If it's specific, like I think puck drops 3:10. Look at your alarm or your clock. If it says 3:10, you just take him to the living room.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what do you like? What do you expect out of this game? Because it was a little bit of a concerning first two games for both teams. Obviously, Finland loses their game, and so now this Sweden game is even more important. And then
Yeah.
Sweden, like we talked about, they generated all the shots and everything and dominated Italy, but didn't win in necessarily dominant fashion, at least on
Mhm.
the scoreboard. So, what's your expectation going into this Scandinavian matchup?
I think my expectation is going to be that Sweden should win this game. I think they're the better team. They're the more well-rounded team. They showed that they can score goals against a team, against any team, whereas Finland scored one on 40 shots. It's a little concerning, but it could also just be, yeah, the goalie played a great game.
Mm-hmm.
We saw him play last year in the Four Nations. Sweden took care of them. I think they'll take care of them again today or tomorrow.
Pretty much today. It's
Pretty,
the
yeah.
middle of
By
the
the
night.
time this gets out, the game might be done.
No, I got a new computer. It's faster
That's
now.
true. Yeah. We don't have to, the 7 hour uploads that I deal with.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's going to be an exciting one. And then I mean Saturday Sweden takes on Slovakia. Like that's a pretty tough back to back.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with the way Slovakia played against Finland. That's going to be a good chance for Slovakia, right? I mean, they play
Mhm.
Italy tomorrow. I assume they'll win, especially if Clara's not going to play for Italy. I don't think we've gotten an injury update, but he was the reason they were in it against Sweden for a little while. Yeah, if Slovakia beats Italy, I think that Sweden Slovakia game is going to be really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be for the number 1 spot in the group. Certainly you'd expect it to be for the number 1 spot in the group at this point.
Yeah,
As far as things are shaking out here. And then, I mean, we talked about Canada, France a little bit. Not too concerned about that, but Italy, Germany, or sorry, USA, Germany on Sunday as well. That's the noon game Pacific time. That'll be their last game in the group stage.
yeah,
I think that one could be for the group as well.
it could be.
And
USA's got too much depth. I don't know how Germany beats them. Like the moment Sider's off the ice, who's defending?
mhm.
I think that's going to be a problem for Germany.
Yeah, it definitely will be. But, you know, like the star power of Germany, if they can keep the game close and keep it to a 1 goal game in the last couple minutes, like there's a world where they could force overtime and then it just comes down to a bounce your way. And Germany certainly has the star power to compete in a 3-on-3 format with the
Yeah,
US.
yeah. Unfortunately, this tournament's not 3-on-3. They can
In
rotate
overtime,
their.
isn't it?
Yeah, but they got to get to overtime.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like if they can keep it a 1 goal game late and then get a late bounce, tie it up, and force
Yeah,
OT.
it's asking a lot from a team with
Yeah.
not that much NHL depth at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're going to
there
heavily
is.
rely on Grubauer there.
Yeah, they will rely on Grubauer and some Draisaitl and Stützle magic.
Hmm.
I think it is asking a lot from Germany.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We talked about that. Like the U.S. kind of got the easy,
Yeah,
easy seeding in the group stage, but well, we can wrap it up there. We'll be back after. Well, I don't know when we'll be back. We'll be back
we'll be
sometime
back.
soon
We'll be back.
with more Olympic updates here. But yeah, it was just to wrap things up. It was just an awesome first couple of days in the tournament. It's fun to watch best on best hockey once again at the Olympic level. But yeah, we'll wrap it up there.
We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, for sure. Um, what was I going to say? Can't remember what I was going to say.
We can just wrap it up then.
Yeah, we'll just wrap it up
Thanks,
there.
it's been
Thank you
fun.
for listening to In the Slot. I'm your host, Jacob Fraser, with my co host, Keanen Tregaskis. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and check us out on our socials. We've got lots of content coming out. We'll be posting content as the Olympics continue here. So be sure to check all of that out. And thank you again for listening.